Hello, this is Daniel Tompkins, and this is podcast number 2, where we're going to talk about hydration today. But if you haven't already subscribed or visited the new vocal coaching website, please head over to www.daniel-tompkins.com. So I have a couple of questions today that I'd like to answer, which I get asked quite frequently actually by a lot of my vocal students. And the first one is actually, how do I know, or how do you know if you're dehydrated? The first thing to understand is that maintaining a good level of hydration is absolutely crucial for a singer. And in fact, for anyone that uses their voice for a living, whether that be a public speaker, a teacher, a singer, or otherwise. It's something that we can very, very easily overlook and just forget about. And we can forget about it for a number of different reasons, but probably the main one is simply because we live such busy lifestyles. You know, most people only drink water when they feel thirsty, and this is the body's natural mechanism to make us stay hydrated. But one of the easiest ways to tell whether your body is hydrated is very simply by checking the colour of your urine during the daytime. If your urine is dark to light yellow, then this is a warning sign that you need to hydrate. If you are getting enough water intake, then your urine should be a very pale yellow in colour. If it's darker than this, or you pass urine infrequently or in small amounts, then you should drink more water. When you're in this state, your body is retaining as much fluid as it possibly can. And this is a really obvious reason why when you are dehydrated, that you may get a dry throat and mouth, and also through getting headaches or simply feeling fatigue and tiredness. There is another way that you can check whether you're dehydrated, and this kind of really does link into, extreme dehydration, when you may be ill, suffering with, the flu or a sickness bug or something a little bit more extreme than that. But you can apply a very firm fingertip to your chest, and if you do that right now, you'll notice probably that you'll see a small white patch when you release your finger, where the pressure has been applied to your skin, and then this should quickly disappear within maybe a second or two, as the blood can then be seen flowing back into your skin. If the opposite occurs and your skin remains white, then that's a sign that you're very dehydrated and you need to get some water intake. You'll often hear doctors telling parents this when they have young children that are ill with sickness bugs. But if you find yourself in this state, then what you should do is simply rehydrate as soon as possible, get some fluids back in your body, and even consider taking some rehydration sachets, which you can pick up from any supermarket or pharmacy. The next logical question that I get asked is, well, how much water do we need to drink on a daily basis? And, if you look on the internet, there are lots and lots of mixed messages and opinions about how much water you need to take on a daily basis. There are also lots of variables as well, person to person, such as your body mass, the climate where you live, the amount of physical activity that you do on a weekly basis, and your general level of health and your age. It's a common fact that your body is nearly 2/3 water. So there you go. I mean, it is important that we keep these levels topped up. Filtered and bottled mineral water, tap water are, obvious sources of H2O. But contrary to popular belief, drinks like tea, coffee, milk, fruit juices, etc. Also do provide water, as well as the food that you eat, which can actually provide anywhere up to 20% of your daily fluid intake. But as a singer, obviously, it's advisable for you to avoid a lot of caffeine and dairy. And these types of things can dry out the tissues in your throat, and they can thicken the mucous membranes that sit within your throat. On top of the food you eat, it's widely recommended per day that women should drink around 1.6 litres of water, and for men, anywhere up to 2 litres of water a day. Now, this sounds like a lot of water, but only you're going to know the difference, and I advise that you give it a go. You just need to remember that when you drink, water flows down your esophagus. It's not down the opening where your vocal cords actually sit. Water has to be carried through the bloodstream to your vocal cords, and this is a timely process. So from the point of being dehydrated, you should really consider a 24-hour delay in hydrating your vocal cords. So let's put this into some kind of perspective. When I first started out, I did this time and time again. You would turn up to a gig, and throughout the day, you've neglected to drink any water at all. So an hour before your show, anxiety starts to build and you get a little bit nervous. It's a very natural thing, and even I get a little bit nervous from time to time. But the thing is that if you then start to drink lots of water, then the throat can become very dry, as well as the mouth. That sensation of getting cotton mouth. This is the body's way of making sure that you take in enough water. Another byproduct of this is that you're going to need the toilet every, 10, 15 minutes. And the need to go to the toilet every 10 and 15 minutes is going to make you very, very anxious leading up to the time when you're about to go on stage or about to perform. And anxiety is never a good thing for a singer. So at that point, there's no turning back. It's too late. In this situation, you've often gone too far and you are dehydrated. And remember that it's going to take a long time for water to travel through your bloodstream to get into the vocal cords themselves. So drinking lots and lots of water is really not going to do you any favours. If anything, sip water. And while we're on the topic of water as well, you need to be conscious of the environment in your throat. Your voice works at optimum body temperature. So if you get given, which we often do as singers when we're touring, you get given ice cold water that's in a fridge, which is very kind, but it's actually no good for a singer, because what that will do is it will constrict and tighten up the muscles in your throat, and you're effectively altering this temperature within your throat, and it's going to make singing a little bit tricky. So my advice to you is drink lukewarm or room temperature water and sip it before a gig. But make sure that you do spend time hydrating a couple of days before you're due to sing. Give your body the time it needs to hydrate properly, and don't leave it till the last minute. So thank you for listening. This has been my second podcast talking about hydration. And I just want to encourage you to head over to my new vocal coaching website, which is www.daniel-tompkins.com. Subscribe there to get the free ebook that I've recently put together on the 7 biggest mistakes that singers make. And also sign up to the mailing list for all news and blogs. Thank you for picking up the podcast. Do share it around with friends, spread the word, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Bye-bye.